All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Freestyle Live. My name is Jack. I'm going to be your host tonight. As always, I'm not alone. I'm joined by my compatriots, the ambassadors, my friends. Boys, we've done this quite a few times now, and it always feels special, you know? So this is no exception. Tonight, we have an amazing night full of incredible sweepstakes. We have some sweepstakes that were happening. We have a giveaway that's going to blow everybody away. We have a special guest. We have a special announcement tonight also. We have the mystery pack. So now something that is happening that is kind of beyond our control is there's a hurricane happening right now. So we're as some of us are not from Florida. I think Willy's the only, Floridian here.
Yeah,
Willy,
kind of used to it.
What do you do in Miami if there's a hurricane?
Well, you have different views. Some people have hurricane parties. Other people go out and start boarding up their houses. And, there's all sorts of ways to skin the cat, man. So we're kind of used to it.
We opted for the hurricane party version. So this is our hurricane party. We have a lot of exciting stuff that we're still bringing to you guys. Stay safe during the storm to all of those that are out and about there. But I want to check in with you guys first. Pedro, how are we doing tonight?
We're doing great, brother.
What are you smoking?
Super
What's going
excited.
on?
I'm smoking right now the mystery cigar that we are about to drop in a matter of minutes.
All right, that's what you got. I was like, ooh, where's he going with this one? It would have been great if you would have just said what the cigar was right away. That would have been perfect. Willy, what do we got, brother? Same thing?
Hey, same thing, man. An unbanded mystery cigar.
Now, what are you guys drinking? I noticed there's a shared drink across the table. What's
well,
that?
I'm running a little low right now, so it's about time for a refill for me.
Okay, so but what was that? Now we have our just off screen from the Wynwood Cocktail Lounge. We have our cocktail consigliere, Chef Jules. Did I mess that up at all, JD?
Oh, Chef Julia.
Chef Julia is helping us out with all of our drinks, and she's going to make a special appearance a little bit later in the show. JD, how are we doing tonight?
We're doing good. It's funny you asked Pedro what he was smoking and the mystery cigar, and Willy, what are you smoking?
Hey, it's another mystery cigar.
I realized my
You didn't
error.
ask what I was smoking. I'm smoking a blunt.
So, gentlemen, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this whole thing, we have a very big week coming up. Not only Freestyle Live tonight, not only the reveal, we have a lot of fanfare coming up this weekend with the Barn Smoker. We got a DE25 pre-party. We're heading back to Kentucky, where it all started. Now, JD, rain or shine, we sent our Barn Smoker team ahead of us to be prepared, so we are ready to go. Storm did not affect us. Tell people about, the Kentucky Barn Smoker and how this all started, because that was the first Barn Smoker, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So first of all, we're all of us are talking about Thursday. We're jumping on our planes,
yes.
But big shout out to our crew, many of our guys who put on this big, giant program of the Barn Smoker. They even brought their families out because they didn't know if the hurricanes were coming. They didn't want to leave their families. So everything's going to be hooked up in Kentucky. Thank you, Julia.
There we go.
And it's going to be really great. It's where it all started. We were talking a little earlier about Kentucky, our first Barn Smoker, and from there we did Connecticut, and then Florida, and then Pennsylvania, and then the other one. Where
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
I thought that was
not in that order. Not in that order. But Kentucky has a very special place. I guess they all do in our heart, because it all started there.
Yeah.
So that's just in a couple days from now. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we're not going to have another Freestyle Live before Savage Feast, so I feel like we definitely got to mention Savage Feast. We're taking that Barn Smoker energy, and it answers the question, what is a Barn Smoker without a barn? Well, for this year, we're calling it Savage Feast, Pedro. So I know you're going to Texas soon.
Absolutely, bro.
But you're going to Texas to scout it out, make sure everything's cool, make sure there's the right, jingling distributors and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I know that there are still a handful of tickets available for the DE25 pre-party and the general admission. By the time even that comes out of my mouth, if you guys have waited the 1 minute it takes for it to hit the satellite and get to them, they might be gone. So if you are in the general area, or if you have a private plane, or if you have a quick one-way ticket, meet us there. Come on, why not? We have a few tickets left for an amazing weekend.
Few tickets.
Few.
few.
Maybe I know that as of this exact moment, it's more than one.
That's right.
So
I don't think that out of the entire show, I don't think there's more than 30 tickets left. And Savage Feast in Texas is sold out.
completely
It's
sold
gone.
out. So
Yeah, and you've sold out the whole year. I mean, big shout out to our fans who they shell out a lot of money. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of cigars and the whole event and the whole time with Willy, Pedro, our whole team, myself. But this Kentucky one, I think is going to be even with the announcement tonight, Jack.
oh, it's going to be.
I think it's really going to be the Kentucky Barn Smoker is going to have an energy almost unlike any other Barn Smoker because of tonight's Freestyle Live Special Edition and Mystery Cigar release. I swear, this is this is a different level.
So something that some people don't know is at each of the Barn Smokers, especially the DE25 pre-party. So, for instance, whatever the mystery cigar is, God knows, only God and the people in this room know.
Hey.
But you're going to get the first chance to try that both on Friday night in Dallas and this Friday in Kentucky. So not only is it going to be included in the bag on Saturday, but that's a real perk because we want to reward the people that come out to our events. So if you want to be the first, people are saying, oh, I know I tried the mystery cigar. We got the full shebango there. So, don't come crying to me. Oh, I didn't get to try it. I couldn't find it. You had your chance. Join us in Kentucky. You could have made it happen.
Plenty of chances.
But we're super excited to, as we get into it, I don't want to say the E word anymore. No more of the E word. I'm juiced up. I'm ready to, before we get to, people are going to say, what's the mystery cigar? What is the mystery cigar? One thing I can say is going back, we had the very, very first one, and that kind of came out of COVID and ingenuity and Drew Estate, elbow grease. We said, holy crap, how are we going to tell people about this amazing cigar, Under Crown 10? And it just kind of the genesis of the conversations we had in marketing and, Rich, our general counsel, was like, what if we do a million-man herf? And we said, oh, okay. So we started kind of combining these things together, and we had the Under Crown 10 that was already planned, and it was this perfect product, but we launched it for the first time on that Freestyle Live. And Pedro,
that's right.
That is a very special cigar for you.
Oh my God, yeah, man.
Willy, I mean, you guys, I saw the speech you guys gave, shout out in Germany, which just won the Cigar of the Year. I mean, that cigar has been big time, big money, and that
big time.
People might not remember was the very first mystery cigar.
That's right.
We had a couple people guess it. There was a couple people like, well, it's the 10th year of Under Crown. I'm imagining it'll be an Under Crown 10. And if you did guess it, kudos to you. I'm not making fun of you. I am making fun of you, but we're excited. I said the E word again. That's a 2. We're going to have an E word counter. That's 2 E's.
I fuck up with that.
Now the next one was 20 Acre Farm, which I think only like 2 people on earth could have pinpointed the FSG tobacco. So we threw a real curveball there. But since 20 Acre Farm has come out, I mean, that thing has caught wildfire. It was this, when we told the story, Willy, it was this, it's this humble farm, and we have this, what is it, one humble harvest at a time. And you took that Connecticut, Willy. I mean, you outdid yourself.
Which is hard to work with, man. That Connecticut, when you're working with that Connecticut shade, it's a wrapper that it's a mild, it's a beautiful looking wrapper. So when you're blending the blend for that wrapper, you don't want to overpower that wrapper, but you want some of the notes of that wrapper to come out, but you don't want the wrapper too much of that to come out. So it's very difficult, and especially for me, because I was never a big Connecticut shade smoker. So I had to learn to work with a wrapper that I hadn't smoked too much of myself, and create something that I would truly enjoy, because I'm a firm believer, and I say it all the time, I'll never put out a cigar that I'm not going to smoke myself, that I'm not behind it. I don't, and thankfully Drew Estate does not believe in, creating a cigar just to sell it. We believe it, we're behind it. We have a whole team that smokes it and approves it. It's not just myself. I have my team in Nicaragua, my team here in Miami, and, we have to approve. We have to all love that cigar, and, and it worked out.
That's so important, though, because, I didn't know, actually, that you didn't smoke a lot of shade.
Mm-hmm.
But Drew is so heavy Maduro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've always been a heavy leaf, Liga 9, T52, Undercrown, H99. Everything is heavy leaf tobaccos.
Yeah.
So when you got charged, essentially,
Yeah.
with a Connecticut shade, especially with all those like high level shit in it, that was not an easy one for us. And especially, I didn't know that you didn't smoke.
I was nervous.
Well, and FSG is a very, very particular tobacco.
Yeah.
So first of all, kudos to the people that could pinpoint that. But like, that's a difficult ingredient in today's. It's not like any other tobacco, and for good reason. That's why
Right.
we want to highlight it. But you knocked that one out of the park.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it.
The most recent one this year, Nica Rustica Adobe. Now, some people did guess that one, but that might have been a little bit of our fault. But the Nica Rustica Adobe came out, and now it's going crazy.
Oh my God, like
I
a
mean,
wildfire, brother.
your hometown representing
Absolutely.
Esteli.
A cigar that came straight from Esteli, Nicaragua.
What did you say in the video? That was one of my favorite things ever. You said, "From our house to."
From our house to yours.
Oh.
Because, check this out. When it comes to all the cigars that comes, I would like to acknowledge, all the cigar brands that comes from Nicaragua. And you have a cigar that really represents the community of Esteli, which is a worldwide tobacco capital when it comes to premium cigars. We were super, super excited. It was not just me coming straight from Esteli, but it was everybody that once we unveiled the Nica Rustica Adobe in my hometown, Esteli, everybody was like, whoa, this is really cool. This is really nice, and this is something that only Drew Estate could put it off.
Yo, I'm going to tell you what the only thing Drew Estate can fucking pull off is, while all of our competitors, hey, God bless them because we love everybody, we're cool with everybody. Everybody's coming out with $10 sticks, $12, $15, $18 sticks, and we come out with a $6 chuck.
And
to do that in a mystery cigar with the whole Freestyle Live and to really bring a $6 cigar out, that's some shit only that only
is so good.
Yeah, but dude,
yeah, we should have charged more for that one. I think that no, I'm just kidding, but that one
you have less profit as a company. You're on a product. If you're coming out with a $6 Drew Estate premium tobacco, we're going to make less on it. But what's so important to me is that we built this company. I'm a blue collar guy. We started the company as a very blue collar company, and to be able to still bring that to market, Freestyle Live Special Edition, whether it was, as you said, Under Crown 10, 20 Acre Farm, Nica Rustica Adobe, and tonight, this is going to be by far, it's not better, but it by far
crazier.
Is going to be one of the most historic moments for you.
Big news.
You,
Oh my God.
for all of us. Even you dudes in this room are on. Chef Julia. What we're about to announce tonight, this is shit in writing. Like, there's a lot of documents behind this, and this has been 2 years already signed, and this has been 2 years signed. This is like such a major deal for our company that I'll just say, like, for all of those who are watching, because I know we put 10,000 packs on the market.
Yes.
And I know that a great deal. Last time, I think we had like 79% of the people who bought the packs were actually watching. I mean, 7,900 people who bought those packs were with us through this experience. This is no joke. We're going to talk about a lot of shit tonight. But for me, reading and listening to the backroom chatter of what they think it's going to be, what did you think it's going to be? What did you say? Hey, is this we read what? Hundreds.
Yeah. And I will say, not that this one is easy to guess, but not one of you was right. We stumped you all. We fooled you all. But I mean, this tonight is like it's hard to always say like bigger or better and the cigars speak for themselves. I think that's the best part of the mystery.
Absolutely.
Is that if the cigar stunk, if we rolled out the cigar and the cigar stunk, I don't think people would really tune in and care to find out what it is.
Some of our cigars are stinky as fuck, and people love it. What are you trying to say?
That's true.
Yo, you're blazing acid up the whole room is stank.
But the quality of the cigars speak for themselves. And JD, do you think that they're ready just yet? Because once we press the big green button, we cannot unpress it. So I
don't think they're ready just yet. Oh, it's very close. It's very close.
Very
so
close.
If you got your popcorn or you need to call your mother or whatever it is, we're getting close. I'll just say that for me, as I've watched most of the developments of Drew Estate throughout my life because I've been here my whole life, and there's some pinnacle moments, right? Like when Drew Estate sold the company, when I look at all of my peers who've sold their company in the past, most of them, if not all of them, have never stayed as long as I have. And it doesn't mean they didn't love their company as much, but I've been here a long time. We've had some pinnacle moments in releasing brands, including even Acid. I mean, it is the biggest brand, I think, in the world in terms of sales, and it's a huge accolade for us to reach. But it's not, for me, what defines the highest level of success. For me, what defines the highest level of success for this company, for Drew Estate y La Gran Fábrica Drew Estate in Nicaragua, it's really about going outside of our boundaries and doing things that either no one has ever imagined being done before. Partnering with Pappy Van Winkle, I mean, in a deep way. The three twins, the father, the mother, they all come out to Nicaragua with me, my dad, Pedro, our whole team. We go, they like to surf. You know, I learned to surf with them. I had long hair. They cut my hair. Really, like, what we did with Pappy Van Winkle was really a pinnacle, indeed, another pinnacle moment when Willy came on as master blender, or when Pedro Gomez became our factory representative. These are pinnacle moments in our company's development. And when it comes to brands, Liga Privada, you know, I say it all the time, that was our Opus X. When I think of the world of Cuban cigars and Cuba, when I think of cigars in the United States and I think of the pinnacle brands, to me, Opus was always a brand of high pinnacle value. I was there the night it got released at the World Trade Center up at Windows in the World, and Carlito handed me 2 torpedoes the night it came out. And I said, someday, some fucking day, we're going to be there. And Liga Privada really, for us, was that moment. Tonight, I feel like this is a moment equivalent to that. And again, my pride in bringing out a $6 chuck with Nika Rustica here on Freestyle Live with all of you guys was just a huge moment of happiness, because I know dudes who are post office guys, or policemen dudes, or people like my mom who are nurses, people who are out there, teachers who are smoking sticks. You can't put a $15 stick into homeboy's hand every single night, but you could put a Nika Rustica into somebody's hand. It was an important time. Tonight is a different undercurrent. It's as we used to say when we started the website for Drew Estate, but we were below the surface. We were beneath the surface. It was something lurking out there that wasn't quite explicable. And what you're about to see tonight is something you should remember. This is a historic moment. So from fucking sea to sea, man, for every continent. I just came back from all sorts of languages and shit, and fucking Hollandia and Alemania, pero para nosotros, este es un momentito increíble. So para nosotros y para ustedes in Nicaragua, en la fábrica, Drew Estate, I think we're going to run that clip right now and enjoy this moment, because you're going to remember it.
Introducing Blackened Cigars M81 by Drew Estate, a dark, bold, and unapologetic cigar collaboration.
My job is all about taste. So when James mentioned he wanted to create an exclusive cigar, I was stoked.
Like Metallica, Drew Estate has some of the most hardcore fans out there. I've known Rob Dietrich for years, and when he approached me to collaborate on this, we couldn't be more excited. I mean, Metallica, Blackened Whiskey, and Drew Estate, what could be a better passion project?
We all came up with a vision of what a Blackened M81 cigar would look and taste like. M81, Metallica, formed in 1981, as you can see right here, just so I don't forget. And now you won't forget because it's on this.
We needed to craft a cigar unlike anything in our portfolio.
One that would take cigar fans on the deepest, darkest, heaviest journey into the mystical world of Maduro.
Full-bodied with notes of espresso, leather, and dark chocolate. A wrapper, a binder, a filler that is all Maduro, and they are all grown in separate places.
You talk about a heavy leaf cigar. This is beyond passion. This shit is straight amplification.
Blackened Cigar M81 by Drew Estate is bold, rich, and powerful enough to satisfy the most experienced cigar connoisseur, but also balanced that new cigar lovers can enjoy its tantalizing smoking experience as well.
Blackened Cigars M81 by Drew Estate. Coming soon.
Great Metallica.
Holy cow. It's happening, boys. This is real. Like this whole thing, leading up to this moment, it's been like, okay, this seems like it's going to happen. This is happening now. Introducing, I'm going to be the first one to say it, but behind those guys, Blackened Cigars M81 by Drew Estate. This is in partnership with, Sweet Amber Distilling Blackened. This is in partnership with James Hetfield, frontman of Metallica. So this is incredible. And then also, we're super, super excited. In just 1 minute here, we're going to talk to Rob Dietrich from Blackened. So before we even talk to Rob, JD, I mean, this is going down, man.
Yeah, it's no bullshit, man. When Drew Estate dropped that Eminem shit with Paul, it was a big deal because people knew, like, we had just sold the company at the time. They were like, is Drew Estate going to change? Are they going to be corporate? And we were like, first we dropped Pappy like 3 weeks later, and then we dropped some shit with Eminem. And when we dropped Eminem, my mother was telling her friends, my son's doing some shit with Eminem. And they were like, what? This is like, it was cool. This one is incredibly unique because James really loves cigars. And this guy's he's got so many commas and zeros, he's stupid. And, for him, it's a passion project. Yeah. So
the love of tobacco.
I'm saying. And when you guys were on the phone, I was there when you guys were talking blends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And watching him from my perspective, his excitement, and obviously who we're going to bring on now with us as well, it was the excitement of really the cigar itself. It wasn't a corporate move. It's cool from anybody who could work a project like this with Metallica, with Sweet Amber, Blackened, and James Hetfield. I mean, shit, how many of our lives have been influenced through Metallica or through their experiences, whether you like their music, whether you love their music? And it's probably one of the biggest groups in the world. And James is probably one of the biggest heroes in the world to so many people. Yeah. For him to just love cigars, forget us, is so fucking cool that the head of Metallica, not the head, but the singer, the lead vocal, the James Hetfield, and so for him to work with us on the project, I think for us is a crowning achievement. And very,
it is
very
amazing,
proud.
man. It's beautiful to see because back in my old days and when I was growing up in Esteli, I didn't know English. I am still working on the language, But we love the beat. We love the passion that Metallica brings to the music.
I wish I could have seen you jamming out.
It was like, bro, Metallica was and still is, and it will be everything when it comes to music.
Yeah.
Everything that comes with the harmony. Everybody that plays in the band. And of course, James, my man, thank you so very much for giving us the opportunity and for Nicaragua to be part of what Metallica represent worldwide.
Yes, sir. Well, let's bring in one of the men of the hour. There are many, but this is Rob Dietrich. Rob, you are the master blender and distiller of Blackened American whiskey, but don't let me tell him. Rob, can you introduce yourself? Talk about yourself a little bit, and how you're feeling about this project.
It's good to see you guys. It's always, this is a room full of heavy hitters here, so always excited to see you. Man, I got to tell you, watching that video again, I've seen it several times. I've been so excited about this project, and that was just savage. It's just so epic to see that passion, but that we all have for this project, for making this, putting the cigar together. This is 2 years in the coming. So again, my name is Rob Dietrich. I'm the master distiller and blender for Blackened American whiskey. We are Metallica's whiskey. It's really an incredible project in the whiskey world. We're hitting on all cylinders with this thing. I'm the former master distiller for Stranahan's Colorado whiskey. That's where I cut my teeth in making whiskey, making epic expressions, innovations. I love coloring outside the lines. The way I approach making whiskey is like an art form. I'm sure the way Willy approaches a blend of tobacco, it's the same thing for me with whiskey. And so I'm very excited to kind of take that passion for whiskey and the blending that I do and really apply it with this blackened cigar.
Yeah, and I think that I do want you and Willy to kind of compare and contrast, notes maybe. But JD, before we get into the cigar itself, I want to talk about this project and kind of how it came to be. Because a lot of people are going to ask, how the hell did you guys pull this off? How did this start?
Well, it really started 10 years ago or so. I took a trip one year to Colorado to go to check out different distilleries, and the distillery that just fascinated me the most, to be honest, was Stranahan's. And I met Rob Dietrich there. And, Breckenridge was cool as well. But my man Rob became a very close friend. And we've watched each other throughout the years, over the last 10 years or so. He'll probably know the date better. Just our careers and what we were working on, and through the sale of Drew and through me coming back as president and Rob moving from Stranahan's and linking up with the Metallica crew and the Blackened crew. So there's been this intertwined relationship. I introduced him to the Hendersons, and I remember that day. And he's a mad industry dude in the spirits world. So I got to introduce him to somebody in his world. Was funny, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's been great, and it just goes to show, like, through Rob, I learned the terminology master distiller. No one in the cigar industry called Willy Herrera or any of the master blenders master blender. It wasn't a word. Didn't exist. No one used that shit. It wasn't in any article. You'd watch a YouTube video. There wasn't no, like, well, I'm the master blender of this company. Shit didn't exist. Mm-hmm. And when Nicholas was leaving Drew, and Willy had already been working with us on the Herrera Esteli project, and I said to Willy, I said, hey, look, there's going to be an opportunity for us. I can't speak for everybody, for Marv and Steve and the whole company, but I think that you should really consider coming on board as our master blender. And he goes, master what? So, Rob Dietrich and brought to us this concept that lives within the whiskey space for I don't know how many years, but I wouldn't be surprised, over 100 years. And we kind of brought that terminology and that idea to this. So all the pieces came together in a very, I call, earnest way. The pieces to this brand to Blackened, as Rob transitioned from Stranahan's after. He'll tell you this. He should tell you this story. Rob, you with us, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, we'll have Rob. We'll have Rob talk. I want Rob to talk about before he gets into his career and his journey. So you and Rob know each other.
Yeah.
And after, at a certain point, Rob, I want you to. You can't speak for James Hetfield too much, but I want you to kind of talk to us about. So JD, and you have a smoking buddy, and then how does this kind of slowly develop into where we are today?
It is. What I love is the authenticity and the passion that the friendship with Jonathan has been something that's been very special and close to my heart. For so many years, I've been down in Nicaragua with them. I've been to Puerto Rico with them. We enjoy having a little dram together, and really just it's always just been that beauty of that friendship. And this has been something we know we were going to do. At one point, we knew we were going to work together on a project somewhere. The fact that it came together as a passion project with someone else who's just as talented in an entirely different arena, James Hetfield, it really, these are masters of their craft right here. This is all of us just putting our heads together and creating art. This is the world of art right here. And, this really kind of started during COVID. The bands, Metallica couldn't tour. No one was going anywhere. I was stuck at my house down here in Denver, and James lives up in the mountains in Colorado, and so I would go up there and enjoy a cigar on his back porch, and we really just it was about fellowship. It's about his community of his buddies and his brothers up there, and the more we were smoking cigars, talking about life, it was talking about music, talking about life, talking about vintage cars, vintage motorcycles, hunting. There's just it was just that camaraderie that you share sitting around a campfire, smoking a cigar together with all your brothers. So we really hit it off in a lot of ways. We became very close, and I knew that this was a really good opportunity and a good possibility. I talked to JD about the possibility of making a cigar. He loved the idea. So I pitched it to James. And when I say pitched it, I just said, hey, man, wouldn't it be cool if we could make our own cigar? And I got the perfect guy and the perfect team to do that with. And he was ecstatic about that. And that was and as soon as we did that, we went to the rest of the band. We brought the idea up. They all loved it. So this really became 2 years in the works. I mean, it's so hard to sit on a exciting secret like this for 2 years. But we were really. It was a lot of fun to be able to receive the cigars, all the Drew Estate cigars. We kept journals. I kept my little journal. James had his journal. We'd compare notes. He didn't want spicy. We wanted more chocolatey. And it literally naturally came down to this Maduro to the core kind of mentality, because it really was about the darkest, richest tobacco. And it was exciting to see when we first got the prototype cigar and sit there with him and his buddies. Me and James up in the mountains, we're sitting there for the first time smoking this thing together. And it's just, when you're tasting it, you're like, this is incredible. And so, this goes back to the skill set of Willy. This goes back to the skill set of Drew Estate, of Jonathan. And this comes back to just the taste and profile that James and I really enjoyed.
Now, before we talk to Willy, and I really want to do it, get into the mud and talk about the blend. And, we're lucky because a lot of people have smoked the cigar. A lot of the people have smoked the cigar and tuned in, so they know what it tastes like. But before we get into that, there's something I want to mention. We are in a hurricane right now. Rob, you were actually originally going to join us in one of our pivot plans. So we're lucky that you're safe in Denver. But also, an unintended consequence, we had another guest that was going to, potentially be able to join us, couldn't make it. But I'm going to kick it to a quick video from a friend of ours that just wanted to say hello real quick. So, James, are you out there? Do we have James on the line? Hang on one second. I think that he's patching in real quick.
Look at this beauty. Oh, very nice. Finally. Hey, Drew Estate fans.
Once this
is
over,
James Hetfield from Metallica, and I am excited for the launch of Blackened Cigars, the M81 by Drew Estate. I wish I could be there celebrating Freestyle live with you guys. I'm out here on the road doing what I do best out here, and enjoying a cigar at the same time. I'm excited for you all to try this new amazing cigar, Triple Maduro to the core.
So, incredible. I actually can't even believe that just happened. You guys should have heard the giggles, when, because it does feel surreal to us a little bit. Now, Rob, well, I'm going to kick a question to you really quickly about Blackened. But while you're doing that, Chef Julia of the Winwood Cocktail Lounge.
Take a bow for that.
Yeah, so you could
show us how it's done.
Give a little wave. And we're going to be drinking. We're featuring Blackened.
These are smoked, blackened Boulevardiers.
Smoked blackened
Chef Julia
Boulevardiers. So Rob, as you were talking about, master blending and kind of the tasting boot camp, can you tell us how, at least in your frame of mind, while we grab our drinks, this cigar and this whiskey match up together?
Yeah, for one, I'm a little jealous about the drinks you guys got there. That looks incredible. I'm a huge sucker for a smoked cocktail. So that looks, and I love a Boulevardier too. Especially, I'm drinking a neat blackened here, so I'll join you in the cocktail as well. Cheers, gents.
Cheers.
When I look at the how well the whiskey and the cigars go together, that's kind of a natural thing anyway. You think of a scotch, you think of a good cigar, you want a scotch in hand. But American style is really finding something that's just as quality that meets together in the middle. I really feel like there's a relative duality to a great whiskey and a cigar in each hand, and I feel like that is something I've had the pleasure of being able to smoke the blackened cigar and drink a blackened cocktail at the same time. Hopefully, folks are out there getting a chance to do that when the cigars hit the shelves. I got to tell you, man, there's nothing better than almost like that sweet and savory. You got the sweetness of the bourbon and the spicy earthiness of the rye of our blackened whiskey blend that really balances well with the earthy, those darker notes and those chocolate notes in the blackened cigar. So I couldn't ask for a better pairing. And this is something that really kind of starts in as a mindset, just like a little seed, and then you try and whenever I'm looking at a blend, I start with an idea in mind, and I'll start with like a base, so maybe a couple of things a couple of whiskeys, maybe one whiskey. If I'm blending several whiskeys together, I have an idea where I want to go. It's almost like dropping a pin on a map. Like I'm heading for that pin, and that's the way I think about it in my head. And I know the profile I'm looking for, and it's just a matter of how much of this and how much of that, and less of this. And sometimes you only you can't make an omelet unless you crack a couple eggs. The way you learn and the blending process is you're gonna make some terrible stuff at some point. You're gonna blend, you're gonna over blend something, and it's gonna be and you got to start over. Like, okay, that didn't work. Or you might be surprised that you find something because you made a mistake and accidentally poured too much in, more than you meant to, and you're like, oh wait, that tastes perfect. So I approach blending like an art form. It's the glass is my palette, the whiskey is the paint, and I really putting those together. It takes time, but I think people they have that that passion of taste. Everyone when I'm doing a whiskey tasting and I ask people what are you tasting, and a lot of times people are afraid to speak up because they don't want to be wrong, and I tell them that you're not wrong. This is your palate. So whatever you're tasting is right. And that's exactly the way it is with cigars. Whatever you're tasting is your palate. We all grew up in a different environment, different household. You get those smells of grandma's kitchen, fresh baking bread, yeast, chocolate, cinnamon, grandpa's garage, used cigar ash and motor oil and grass clippings. All of those things are part of your life that make up your mind and your olfactory. And that ties together with the cigar and the whiskey. And in the whiskey making process.
Now, when you were talking about blending and master blending, doing your job, Willy, what similarities could you see, from obviously you two are dealing with completely different, mediums. He's whiskey and you're tobacco, but how do you approach, first of all, this blend and blending as our master blender?
Well, there's a lot of similarities because, I might start with a certain wrapper where, Rob mentioned he's going to start with one whiskey and then blend other whiskeys or ryes or whatnot into that original one that he's going to start off with. I might start off with a certain wrapper. I want something with a broadleaf, or I want something with a Connecticut, or I want something with, in this case, a Mexican San Andres. And then you have this goal, this vision, and this journey you want to take the smoker on when they do smoke the cigar. And so based off of that, how strong do you want to make the cigar? How spicy do you want to make the cigar? Do you want some sweeter notes in the cigar? Do you want some of those chocolate notes to come out in the cigar? So based on that idea and that concept, okay, I know I want to do something with this wrapper. Let me try this binder, see how it works well with, and it brings out some of the other notes of the wrapper together with that binder. And then you pick and choose different fillers, to make that blend complete. In this cigar, what worked was that Mexican San Andres wrapper, then the broadleaf binder, and then a blend of Nicaraguan with Pennsylvania broadleaf in the filler. So altogether, all those components, gave you that richness, that boldness, but smoothness. So it gave you some of those sweeter notes, that chocolatey note that comes out in the finish, and it just made the cigar round, and it made it what I thought was perfect.
I got a question. You're so smart.
No, I'm not so smart.
So if you're dealing with brands like blends, like Undercrown itself, Maduro, Undercrown 10, Maduro, both of them San Andreas,
right?
Liga 9, a broadleaf, and again in this blend, your binder in here is a Connecticut broadleaf, which is Liga 9. Essentially, it's a wrapper that's busted or broken. It's an Echieli or an Echieli. That's all it is, right? How do you land a blend like Blackened with help from Dietrich and Hetfield and Yesenia, Luis, Rubio, Joel, Todo Grupo? How do you navigate that between Liga 9 that exists, even Liga 10, and then Undercrown 10, Undercrown, How do you pull a
Yeah,
Maduro?
Herrera Brazil. That's
How do you
got
land
broadleaf
it
in the binder? Well, it's picking and choosing different tobaccos, different primings. So the priming that's on this cigar might not be the same priming that's on the Crown 10.
Yeah, but this blend in particular, what I'm asking you, I told you I'm coming after you. This
Okay.
time. So when you think about like what makes this cigar not better,
Right.
but different
Right.
than an Undercrown 10 or a Liga 9? Why a person who loves Undercrown 10? Why he wants to try this? Why does a
It's
guy
a
who
different
smokes
expression.
whatever?
It's different notes that you're going to get out of this expression using that same Mexican San Andres that's on the Undercrown, but it's a totally different experience. It's a totally different journey. It's like going to New York and you go by 75 or you go by 95 or you go Turnpike, whatever. You have different avenues how to get there. The same or when you're cooking, same thing. I might like something with more pepper. You might like something with more sriracha or more Tabasco. It's spicy.
What did
but
the
it's
Pennsylvania
different.
play? What did the
Oh man, that tobacco to me is amazing. It's so versatile. It brings this strength, this spice, but it's more of a subtle spice. But it's a richness and this encompassing note that just rounds out.
That's a
blend.
Pennsylvania broadleaf ligero.
Yeah.
Is that the one with that fucked up name, the Pennsylvania frog jumping?
Green sucker.
Huh?
Green sucker.
It's a green sucker, right? Mm-hmm. There ain't that many premium cigar blends on the market that use Pennsylvania one long suckers. What the fuck is it called?
Pennsylvania green suckers.
Pennsylvania green sucker.
Yeah. The GS.
No comment.
Not everybody. You know what? You know why everybody don't fuck with that? The nicotine in that thing.
It's strong.
That's
You gotta
I
know how
don't
to
know
work
exactly like all the scientific formulations and shit, but that is a very heavy
It's a beautiful tobacco. I love it.
tobacco.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's one of
Pedro,
my
I want to put
favorites.
you on the spot, and I know that you don't like this because Pedro's so prepared for these things. Like a lot of us, we kind of like noodle.
Yo, Jack, me and you are going to put these motherfuckers on the spot.
Yeah, so Blackened Cigars M81 on the side of the box, it says M81 Maduro to the core. When you smoke this cigar, what does that mean to you, Maduro to the core?
to the core.
When you
You're talking about a cigar that is very rich,
Yes.
that is very bold, that it really satisfies the appetite when you want to smoke a premium cigar. And this one right here, Blackened, is, hands down,
Yeah.
a cigar that really fulfill everything that you're looking for in a Maduro premium cigar.
Yeah.
This is Drew Estate, brother.
And I think that it bears noting, a lot of people have smoked the mystery cigar, but, we're talking about some of the strength of the... Willy really did his job on this one because this is not a smoke one, you're done, day's over powerhouse. This is really well balanced and really, on all notes. So I think that if some of these people that are seeing this, it might not be, Wednesday night when they're watching this, they might see this down the road and they go, oh my goodness, I'm such a big fan of Blackened whiskey, or I'm such a big fan of Metallica.
And that's one thing also about the product. When Rob moved over from Stranahan's, which I'm a big fan of still to this day of that product, and not just the yellow label, all of the products pretty much that Rob has blended and that was blended at Stranahan. When they did Blackened, the first time I got it was out in Sag Harbor, Long Island. And I was like, man, I called him up. I was like, you did a great job. And from there, I knew that, it was just a great moment because I knew like something was brewing. This was like, I don't know how many years ago. And don't they have like limited news that like...
So that's, I'm going to touch on, because I know real quick right now that there's going to be some of the guys, the guy, we all know that guy that's like, well, Jack, how many sizes, how many are in a box, what do they cost, and when do they release? So I want to touch on all of that really quickly, and then I really want to talk to Rob about Blackened the booze. So for you guys that are looking, first of all, we're going to have a full press release out tomorrow with all the specs. You guys are going to be able to find out. This is going to be, we're announcing it now, it's going to be shipping December. So end of the year is when we're going to start shipping this. There's going to be 4 sizes. So we have a Corona Doble, a Robusto, and a Toro. It's a 20-count box. And it's going to be about, depending on where you live. If you got all the taxes and stuff, I can't, promise that. But it's, it's like a $9-10 stick. So it's really hits all those price points, everything that you could possibly want. If you're seeing this and you're new to Drew Estate Cigars and you're a big Blackened fan, a big Metallica fan, go out, try some. This is going to be a DDRP exclusive, so you'll find it at a Drew Diplomat retailer. We have those listed on our website. Now, Rob, we've left you idle for a while, but you're a professional. I know you're sipping on your Blackened. Now, for those, let's say that there's a great deal of us or some people that are watching that aren't familiar with Blackened or Sweet Amber Distilling. What are they in for when they pick up a bottle of Blackened American whiskey?
Well, you're right. I wasn't alone. You're never alone if you got a glass of whiskey in your hand, right? I gotta tell you, man. And I appreciate the kind words, JD. I love making whiskey. I love everything that goes into the process. When I'm starting from a new project, it's just a blank canvas. And with Blackened whiskey, our flagship, this is a blend of some of the finest bourbons and ryes in America. And, this really was about celebrating the whiskey of America, understanding that, bourbon is kind of the go-to, but I'm a rye fan as well. So I wanted to find that balance between the two. And we've got, and we really could have stopped there. You take some of the best whiskeys and you blend them there together to make a phenomenal whiskey. This is really about owning that word blend in America. American blended whiskey historically didn't have a whole lot of a good reputation because before Prohibition or during Prohibition, people were just throwing whatever they wanted together. So we wanted to take that back, take some ownership in American blends, and realize you can make a quality whiskey out of all these other quality whiskeys. It's just like making it like a chef putting together a great meal. All these ingredients taste great on their own, but you put it together, you're going to eat something phenomenal. Now we could have stopped right there and just launched the whiskey, but we wanted to go a little crazier, so we did a cask finish in Spanish brandy casks. The brandy really kind of gives up that fruit notes. You get the sweetness of the bourbon, you get the spiciness, earthiness of the rye, and you get that black brandy, which is like a fruit note, like a dark fruit note. It really ties it together. And again, we could have stopped right there, but we're about innovation, and this is Metallica's whiskey. We're not going to do anything that's not bold and crazy, and so this is where we apply some science behind it. We worked with Meyer Sound, who is the sound company that creates that wall of sound for Metallica. All their studio speakers, all the touring speakers, is created by Meyer Sound. We worked directly with them to create a proprietary device that we play music at a very low frequency, and of course, it's Metallica playlist. And we play this music at such a low frequency, it creates vibration. It's motion. So you're moving inside the barrel. So when you think of natural aging, you've got the pores of the wood. You char the inside of a barrel. That's where all the caramelized band of sugar is formed right there. And when the pores are open, the whiskey is moving into the wood and picking up all that flavor. And then when it's cold at night, it expresses back out into the belly. So it's moving on a regular basis, almost like a living, breathing thing. And when you add the sonic enhancement, which we call black noise, and this is a proprietary process. We have a patent pending on it. This is what's exciting, is that we know that we're doing something unique. We know we're doing something different. We had tests on this, so we're applying this noise. It's moving the whiskey in and out of the barrel at a rapid pace. So, for example, you can see this sound wave right here on the front of the bottle. That represents the black noise process, and that is also James Hetfield singing the word blackened. So a little Easter egg in there of the origin of ownership. But they really wanted, when Metallica came up with the idea that they wanted to have a whiskey, they wanted to make a whiskey that was going to stand on its own, be a contender in the market, and really stand shoulder to shoulder with all the great whiskeys out there. And we've done that. We're an award-winning whiskey. It's been really exciting to be able to share this with the world, and we've got some innovations. We have a program called the Masters of Whiskey series, and this is where I'm doing collaborations with other master distillers, just like the band collaborates with other musicians, creating incredible music together. I'm collaborating with other master distillers. We're putting our craft together, our skill set together. So we did the first one was Blackened X Willet. I worked with Drew Colesveen at Willet Distillery. It was such a fun project. I mean, I was like a kid in a candy store. The barrel house running through. He's like, "What whiskey do you want to use?" And I was, I couldn't I couldn't believe just going through there pulling whiskey out of barrels. It was a lot of fun. The second installment in our Masters of Whiskey series, and this goes back to JD. He brought this up earlier. He originally introduced me to Kyle Henderson and Wes Henderson of Angel's Envy. And it has been really exciting just in this industry to kind of grow, see where JD's been growing, and to really come to this point where full circle, I was able to come back and do a collaboration and partnership with Wes Henderson, co-founder of Angel's Envy. And we just announced this last week, the Blackened X Wes Henderson Masters of Whiskey series. So that's the second in our lineup. And it's delicious. It's Kentucky straight bourbon that we did a cask finish in white port casks. Really turned out phenomenal. I'm excited. That's going to be hitting the shelves here soon, so keep your eyes peeled for it. And what better to pick up the bottle than to get to try your very own blackened cigar. I got to tell you, when I got the prototype cigars, and this I want to give a little shout out to my buddy from my Army buddy. I did some combat tours with this guy, Mike Cookson. We were sitting in his garage, puffing on the prototype, and he was like, "Dude, this is gonna go places." You guys, he was just so blown away by it, and it's funny when you're so close to the project. Sometimes you kind of forget, like what kind of impact this is going to have when people actually get to try it for the first time.
Well, Rob, you might be better at my job than I am. I was going to see every single bullet point that I was going to talk to you about Blackened, the spirits. You knocked out of the park. I want to thank you so much for being on the show. We're going to let you go and, go about your, maybe light up a cigar outside and, finish some whiskey. Do you have any parting words for, the viewers tonight before we let you go?
Well, for one, I'm excited about the Barn Smoker event. I'm looking forward to meeting some of you in person, talking about all things whiskey, all things cigars. I unfortunately James won't get to join us there. I know he's excited about it. I mean, you can see the excitement when he came on here earlier. And it was, when we were sitting around making the cigar, we were excited about it. So I'm looking forward to sharing that excitement and cigar and whiskey with you. Hopefully in Kentucky. If not, I'm going to see you out there on the road. Come over, say hello, and share some cigar love here. So enjoy it. You guys have a great rest of your event. Great rest of your freestyle live. I look forward to seeing you in Kentucky.
We'll see you tomorrow, brother. We'll see you in or maybe Friday. We'll see you in Kentucky. Thank you, sir.
Be sure to have booze ready.
Yeah, he's got that. Now Rob already touched on it, but we have a wonderful video from the team at Blackened about the Masters of Whiskey series. So we're going to kick to that right now. So here you guys go. Check out the Blackened X Wes Henderson Masters of Whiskey.
For the next release of the Masters of Whiskey series, I wanted to put a unique spin on America's most well-known whiskey, Kentucky Straight Bourbon. And who better to collaborate with than the legend himself, Wes Henderson. Wes was the co-founder of Angel's Envy Whiskey. He was inducted into the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. Definitely a perfect partner for this project.
Introducing the Blackened X Wes Henderson Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey finished in white port wine casks.
This limited edition expression starts with a 6-year-old straight bourbon from Kentucky. We finished the bourbon in white port wine casks and applied our proprietary black noise sonic enhancement process.
The finished whiskey is then bottled at cask strength and is non-chill filtered. Blackened's original master distiller and founder Dave Pickerel was the inspiration behind this project. Dave was a dear family friend, and I always was inspired by his appreciation of his craft.
Once we both hit on this final recipe, it was a great feeling to raise a toast to Pickerel and a testament to another successful collaboration. On the nose, we get pear, raisin, cinnamon, and cigar box. On the palate, we get honey, chipotle cinnamon, vanilla, barn hay, and walnut, and a beautiful, long, viscous finish.
I really enjoyed this collaboration with Blackened and Metallica. The great thing about this project is we're supporting efforts that are near and dear to me as a first responder by supporting Team Rubicon and the rebuilding of tornado-ravaged areas in western Kentucky.
The Blackened X Wes Henderson Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, finished in white port wine casks. Coming soon.
All right, everybody, it is that time. We are going to start with our raffles. So this is the way this is going to work for the consumers, all of the people that tuned in. Basically, if I say consumer, you don't own a cigar store. You entered your badge. And then our retailers. It wasn't even meant to be funny, JD, but like the
I don't give a shit. It's all fucking funny.
So this one, we are going to draw our second place winner for our people, everybody with a badge, and you're going to get a Gibson Les Paul guitar. And then we're going to release the list of the 25 winners. We didn't tell them this, but we made some blackened pewter ashtrays that we're going to ship to them right afterwards. And then we're also going to draw 2 of our trade partners. They're going to get a little store credit. We're going to hook them up with some stuff from Subculture. So without further ado, Pedro, I'm going to have you spin this one or that one. I'll spin this one. And Pedro, do you want to be the I'll make you the official person that draws out of these buckets. This is thoroughly spun. All the people that bully me at Barn Smoker about the amount of spinning. So the winner of our Gibson Les Paul,
Yes.
you go ahead, reach it and just hand it to me.
All right.
This shit is fixed, right?
This is incredibly legally, our general counsel. So the winner of our Gibson Les Paul, our second place winner, we're going to draw 2 of those, is Mr. Daniel Flynn.
I knew it was
Flynn. Daniel Flynn will be reaching out to you. Now, one of our stores that is going to be winning, this is our third place store winner. So you're going to get some store credits.
You didn't like that.
This is going to be Smoker Friendly / Tobacco Depot in Spring Hill, Florida. So shout out to you guys. Thanks for bringing in the packs. One more retailer, Pedro. Who is our second place winner? We're going to send them some Subculture stuff and a store credit for this one. This one is going to be Casa de Monte Cristo Soho, but that's in South Howard Avenue, Tampa. So we're not talking New York. That's Tampa. So first of all, hope you guys are doing all right. Both of you Florida accounts on the other side. We're with you guys. We'll send you a little something to ease the pain or the stress of this storm. But waiting in the wings, Pedro, people didn't even realize that we had a 1-2 Esteli punch.
That's right.
On this broadcast. We have Mr. Juan Martinez Cuenca of Hoya. He's joining us on the broadcast, coming in from the factory in Esteli. Juan, can you hear us? How are you, sir?
I can, man. I can. Even with the hurricane noise, I can. Jack, good to see you. Pedro, Willy, JD, it's always a pleasure. I'm sorry I can't be there with you guys, but I hope you all are keeping safe and healthy during this few days.
Yes, sir. Now, Juan, first of all, I want to ask you 2 questions. One, I asked you this before, but we have to pretend like we didn't. What are you guys going to do with the next 10 trophies that you're going to win behind you? Do you have a plan for that? And then 2, how is everything going down there with Hoya? Those are my 2 questions.
So, well, thank God we have a big wall behind us that can carry some other humble recognitions that we might get. So, but we're honored to have all of those awards. It's testament to the quality, that we always say, the quality of the work and the energy that everybody here puts into every cigar that we make. Everything down here is well, man. Thank God to this day we haven't had a hurricane yet, although we've had a tremendously wet rainy season. It hasn't stopped raining here either. That's a challenge when making cigars because that tobacco just absorbs all the moisture in the environment. But we're hanging in there. Everybody's is well and safe. The machine is cranking. So we're super busy, and we are especially thankful for all the Hoya amigos, all the Hoya Nicaragua lovers and the real estate lovers that keeps us busy, that love every stick that we make, and we're humbled and we're appreciative of all the love that we continue to get. It's been 2 heck of years that we've had, and it's always a milestone for us here in Esteli, in Nicaragua, for Hoya Nicaragua, and for the Gran Fabrica too. So everybody's well. Thanks.
Well, Juan, I'm going to let you kick this off, but we do have some Hoya news as well. It wouldn't be Freestyle Live, if we had one announcement. We always have that 1-2 punch, and First of all, while I talk to you about this, we're going to get it out and get this stuff out of the way, but tell people about the new release for Joya de Nicaragua that we are announcing right this second.
Well, it's tough to follow that show, man. With that black, and I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to trying out, smoking that, and drinking some of that awesome whiskey. I'm very excited, to be part of indirectly on this project that you guys have, and looking forward to trying those cigars soon with you guys. But from our side, from Joya Nicaragua, as always, this year we brought a few cool items to you guys at the stores. We had the Numero Uno. La Taché coming to all of you, and we had Antaño Sete, two of our legendary cigars that people are enjoying very much. And this year, well, we're looking up for the 55 years of Joya Nicaragua coming up in 2023. So we are preparing ourselves, and as always, we come to celebrate and to rejoice on the blessings and the milestones that Joya Nicaragua, as the first factory in the country, has achieved. And this year we are introducing the final, at least the most recent Vitola of the Cinco Décadas brand. As you remember, this is the celebratory brand of the 50 years of Joya Nicaragua. And we've been announcing every year a new expression that commemorates or celebrates a particular milestone of the company. And this one is called El Comichi, which in Spanish basically means the young one or the little one. And this is a 5.5 by 52 Robusto. And it's basically, as people say, pays tribute to the young generation of Nicaragua as another chapter of our story that continues to unfold quite successfully. So El Comiche is this beautiful 5.5 by 52. And with this, we wanted to bring a smaller expression of this award-winning and phenomenal blend, which is Cinco Décadas. It always comes in the 10-count box, and it's going to be available at the DRP account soon. So it should be shipping in the next few months. So this is Cinco Décadas and the Comiche coming to you.
Pedro, I wanted to talk to you about the because I asked you before the show, it was written here, but the El Comiche and the slang, and we talk about, Joya is releasing a cigar kind of called like the young one, which is a little one. I'll talk to you about that a little bit. That's a little kind of ironic because next year you guys have a pretty big year. But talk about El Comiche and, our relationship with Joya and that phrase specifically, how it comes into play.
Well, when it comes to Joya Nicaragua and Drew Estate, has been a beautiful relationship that we have developed during the years. And for us, and me personally, I'm extremely proud. And of course, everybody at Drew Estate, to represent Joya de Nicaragua right here in the United States. In terms of all the masterpieces that they have been putting in the market, when it comes to El Comiche Brown, that's the little one that received all the love from everybody in the family, But when it comes to Cinco Décadas, it is amazing the milestone that Joya de Nicaragua have reached along the years in this beautiful premium cigar industry. And I'm very sure when it comes to El Comiche, it's not the love that in Nicaragua we give to the little one, but I'm very sure that everybody up there is going to give a lot of love to this amazing new size that we have in Cinco Décadas.
I didn't even, again, that was off the cuff. Pedro's just got it. So Juan, I wanted to talk to you about that. You're the oldest cigar factory in Nicaragua, and this is the youngest. What do you guys got going on next year specifically?
So my big news is that I'm quitting my job and Pedro is taking over, because I think nobody could have said it better than he did. Pedro. That was awesome. And indeed, we actually didn't talk about this before, but that is true. The Comiche is the little one that both represents all of the heartfelt desires, but also the tribulations of the family. He could be the loved one, or he could be the rebel one, so it could be either way. And in our families, in Latin American families and Nicaraguan families, the young one always plays an important role. But for us, this is a jumping stone for the next stage. Cinco Décadas, although it talks about our history, it actually is opening up the doors to our future. So with this last chapter of Cinco Décadas, what we're opening up is for the role that the younger generation, which I am including in, Pedro and the rest of us are opening up towards the future in this beautiful business, in this beautiful trade of cigar craftsmanship, from tobacco growing, the new generations of tobacco growers, processors, and of course, cigar makers that are slowly opening up the ways and the spaces for the future of our products, innovative products, that continue to respect and to stimulate the palate of cigar smokers in the U.S., but also all over the world. So yes, next year we're celebrating 55 years, and El Comiche is sort of the stepping stone that wakes up the new door towards the future. And we hope you guys can enjoy all the great things that are coming to you in the next few years and the next few chapters of Joya Nicaragua and Drew Estates together.
Well, we are super excited. I mean, I know that there are more here, but this is the only box that they gave us. So we've been like waiting really for this moment to tear into them and start smoking them, So thank you, Juan, so much. Do you have any parting words? I would like, Joya's going to be represented strongly at the Barn Smoker. We got some amazing stuff coming to these people. Are there any parting words you have from Joya and your family? And we'll see you soon stateside, I'm sure. Your travel schedule is keeping rocking and rolling.
Thank you, brother. I look forward to seeing you in the Savage Feast next month. I'll be there with all of you celebrating, Drew Estates big bashes. No, stay safe to everybody who's being hit by the storm. I hope that you guys come out healthy and safe. And just a word of gratitude to everybody. It's been, as I said before, a few intense years, and we continue to do this simply for you guys. Everything that we do, everything that we blend, everything that we produce is owed to you. So we hope that in every Joya Nicaragua and in every Drew Estate cigar that you enjoy, you find a little bit of that love, passion, and respect that we bring to you guys at home, in your lounges, in your humidors, in your smoking spaces, and in your lives. So thank you very much, guys, for having me, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.
Thank you so much, Juan. Safe travels, and we'll see you soon. We're super excited for El Comiche to be hitting the streets. I can't get rid of the E word. I just have actual excitement, and I have a poor vocabulary. So we are having a little bit of a transitional period. The lights went in and out, but we're rocking through the storm. We got the hurricane. We got the hurricane.
You're now
windows.
rocking with the best.
We got the hurricane windows.
You remember that?
We got the IT guru, Iran, who's got like 15, job titles at this point. He's assured us that we're good to keep broadcasting. The next phase is we got even more news.
Right, it doesn't end.
It doesn't end. Pedro's got his phone on top of it, but phase one of that is Year of the Rat's back, y'all. We have some Year of the Rat coming back. This is one of the things that we're dropping this week, our seasonal release of Year of the Rat. JD, I'm going to kick it to you while I make this look pretty. Year of the Rat.
What the fuck?
I'm setting you up for failure, to be honest.
What the fuck?
JD, Year of the Rat is back.
Year of the Rat.
This is full force. This is something.
This is the one we started with Panther Stadium, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, this was a fun night. Lucci had us eating like $30,000 of meatballs on a stick. All right. It was a crazy night. That was a fun time with the Panthers. We brought that product out, and it's something special. We don't do it often. It's also we don't have that many pairs making that specific size. Yeah, this too.
So this is part of our kind of seasonal blitz. We're going to hit you in the mouth with Year of the Rat and Pigs. Those are back. And Pigs, Pedro, this is something that people go absolutely nuts for.
Absolutely, man.
Talk about the Pigs and how, they're only available for a limited period of time. So all of our watch parties, shout out to you guys. The retailers are bringing these in, and the consumers looking for the Pigs. Tell them about what to expect with all these pigs. I got the undercrown.
Well, we got the undercrown flying pig. We got the undercrown Shay.
Oh,
flying pig right here. Shays for days.
Just happen to have that.
We also have the flying pig T52 right here. Ooh. We also have the Liga Privada number 9 flying pig. Allah. Oh no, we're going strong. If we go out, this is how we go, brother.
Yes, sir.
Drew Estate right here.
Pig style. We got pigs, we got rats. Willie, talk about blending pigs. Is there anything special to this project? I know that the shape is unique, but what is the challenge or the task when they say, "Hey, Willie, we want you to make a pig"?
Man, the biggest challenge is making the cigar. You know, we don't have that many pairs that make this vitola. And so when you're working on a blend of such a difficult cigar to make, you have to take into account, okay, you have a limited amount of people that are going to be working on this blend or on this cigar. If it's, tobaccos that are too difficult to work with, you might have issues with the cigar. You might have them say, "No, I'm not going to work on that cigar." So it's not an easy cigar to make, and that's why you see it, in such a limited fashion. So when you see them on the shelves, grab them. So there aren't a lot of them. That's beautiful.
Just snap them up because they're not going to be around long. This is coming out next month, so in October. So keep your eyes peeled. We will release a full press release here. So if you want to look at more details about what's specifically coming, we can't wait for you to find out. Now, Pedro, we are going to drop something on these. I don't even think that we should tease it. I don't even think that we should preface it with anything. What do you want to say? I'll leave it up to you.
One thing that I just want to say is that when it comes to our premium cigar community, everything that we do at Drew Estate, we do it with a purpose. And everything that happens when it comes to trade marketing team, they do a very good job. And not just us bringing all the goodies to the people that have been smoking cigar for so many years. What we are about to drop right now, Mr. Director, roll the video.
Uh-oh.
Today we're gonna be talking about how to light a cigar. When you light a cigar, it's like kissing the boquilla of the cigar with the flame of your torch. Now, for people that don't know what boquilla is the foot of the cigar. And basically what you do, you go with the flames around the boquilla little by little in a very gentle, smooth way until the cigar is evenly lit. Right when you see that the cigar is evenly lit, that's when you bring the cigar into your mouth. And you start to puff the cigar in a very gentle way and added a little bit of the flame just to get it going. And before you know it, the cigar will be on. When it comes to tobacco, the best thing that ever happens to tobacco was fire. And I'm gonna take you guys back to 200 years ago when they create matches. A lot of people were smoking their cigars, if you wanna call it back in that time, cigars, by using these little guys. And basically what you do, you let the match goes up, and then right after that, you position the cigar not too far, not too close, just going around the foot of the cigar. Another way to do it is using torch. I'm using this really cool lighter right here. And basically what you do, you position the flame of the torch in an angle that is not gonna be overpowering the cigar with too much fire. You just want the cigar to get lit little by little. You want the cigar to open up on you. Another lighter that is really good. Well, this is a lighter that a lot of people use, especially back home in Nicaragua, and obviously in other countries outside the United States, which is the big lighter, which is the soft flame ones. One thing that you have to make sure is to be a butane. Otherwise, if you use another type of fuel, then it will run or contaminate the experience that you're gonna get out of your stocking. And basically the same thing goes with this one. You have to go around little by little, and once you get this bad boy going, that's when you bring your cigar not too close, not too far. You just want the cigar to experience what the fire is all about. Okay, sometimes what might happen too is that the cigar might go uneven. One thing that you have to be aware is that the cigars are made by hand. From the beginning to the end is a lot of human hands that touch your cigar. So when you are smoking that cigar down and somehow the cigar start to burn uneven just a little bit, so what you do, you just retouch the cigar when it's not burning right. So right here, just a little bit, just a little touch. Let it go in like this, Once you see that this cigar is just going nice and good, then you go again. And that's what I'm talking about right now. Hell yeah. Alright, so this is a public service announcement from your friends at Drew Estate. When you borrow somebody's lighter, make sure to give it back. To the person that stole my lighter at the last barn smoker, I'm still looking for you. I'm gonna get you from your I'm gonna okay? I'm still looking for you. I'm gonna get my lighter back because I need my lighter back.
Moment in cigar lifestyle.
Yeah, that's, I mean, like, we're all trying to keep it together, just giggling here. Now, Pedro, tell people a little bit about Drew Diplomat Academy and what we've been working on behind the scenes.
Absolutely. When it comes to our freestyle life, that's when we drop everything that is happening at Drew Estate. So I would like to invite everybody to tell all your friends to come and tune us in, because when it comes to freestyle life by Drew Estate, we don't joke around when it comes to our badass news that we got going on. Yes, but when it comes to Drew Diplomat Academy, that's a beautiful program that I have been part of. My man Jack and everybody that have been working behind the scenes. And this is pretty much a program that what we are doing right here is sharing the passion, but at the same time, educating people about premium cigars, people about tobacco. And right now, as I always say, the best thing that ever happened to tobacco was fire. And this one right here, this is Drew Estate. Drew Diplomat Academy by Drew Estate. We're looking forward to see you guys in the road, but most importantly, we want you guys to learn the culture and the beautiful community about premium cigars.
Boom, baby. Oh, you even hit with that. So we're gonna be dropping these, once a month. We're gonna be talking about lighting cigars, cutting cigars, basics for people that are maybe new to cigars, maybe you're a huge fan of Metallica and this made your way to your desk and you go, well, a cigar, I don't know how to cut or light that. We got you. Don't worry about it. Now, Pedro, I want you to show off that tin that's next to you, because this is something, when you were talking about trade marketing, this is something that's going in tandem with something that we're doing with our trade, where we're bringing these Drew Diplomat Academy tins out, and we're actually, sending our TMs and Pedro out on the road and showing people, the ropes. We're taking them through the full tobacco process. So this is a much more in-depth version. But if you guys are one of our watch parties, shout out to you guys, and you haven't had a Drew Diplomat Academy training yet, so maybe reach out to your salesperson and say, hey, saw Freestyle Live, that looks awesome.
So check this out, man. We got a beautiful flag that brings all the brands. All the brands right here. All the brands. From Liga Number 9 to Acid Cigars to Tabaco Especial to Underground, Herrera Esteli, Isla del Sol, Kentucky Fire Cure, Deadwood Cigars, Nica Rustica, Ambrosia, Mouthwell, La Vieja Havana, Larutan, all our babies that has been born at Drew Estate Factory. And right here we also have a beautiful notebook that you can take your notes. And basically, wow, this is a beautiful book, bro. This is really nice. It's hard to miss right here. And then another thing that I also got, which is a cutter, a perfect cutter, because, you got to cut this cigar in a perfect position. And then for everybody up there, we got this amazing cup where you can pour your coffee in the morning. Oh, you can pour your whiskey, your beers, your favorite beverage, and it's going to keep your drink cold, nice, and good to go.
Perfect. Pedro, you couldn't have done it any better. I mean, come on. Pedro,
bro, we flow, man. Nothing that we have said in the show has been in the script. This thing just flows, and because when it comes to Drew Estate, everything that we do with a lot of love, and we do it with a lot of passion. And that is something that you cannot put in the script.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Yes, sir. Now, Pedro, I'm gonna you smoke your cigar over there, drink your drink. You've worked pretty damn hard tonight. We're gonna let you relax for a minute. The final line item. We have some news to discuss. Some of our trade partners have heard about this. But JD, we call it SKU Rat. That's way too high level for our folks that are watching. Some news came out. We launched it to our trade partners that we are saying goodbye to a couple brands, and we're saying goodbye to some of our sizes of different brands. This is an effort to keep making the goods. We want to keep, our best and our biggest out there. A notable one, 2 line items that you guys are going to see that are going to be gone, starting now. So if you love these brands, go out and buy them. And also, this doesn't mean it's gone forever. It's just, hey, for right now, we got to focus on
Which ones?
So Undercrown Sungrown, we are sunsetting for the time being. We are discontinuing making it for right now. And then La Vieja Habana, we are also going to be not releasing or making any more of those for the time being. And then a lot of different sizes in some of our different brands. We're going to release, we have a trade piece coming out. So all of our retailers have found out this news. Some of our consumers, this will be the first time hearing it. So for us, it's good news on the whole. We're trying to make more of what we love, but it is sad that we're saying goodbye to some amazing blends, Undercrown Sungrown, La Vieja Habana, and some sizes in different brands that are going to be leaving us. So I wanted you to get the moment to tell people. So they're all tuning in right now.
So here's the deal on that. When we do SKU Rat and Brand Rat at Drew Estate, that means when we're looking at our brands, our entire brand portfolio, top to bottom, we look at the brands that make a lot of money or that are slagging, or brands that we're having a lot of trouble getting the tobacco, or brands that's close to our heart.
Right.
We've kept brands alive for years that didn't make any money. They fucking lost money for 10, 12, 15 years. Brands that don't make couple $1 million with us a year, it's tough to these brands need to perform. And typically, maybe we're spoiled a little because we've made a lot of hits throughout the years. Yeah. And we've always done it in a fun way. And sometimes when they don't go the right way, we tweak it. We rework it. We bring the brand around. We think about, how should we do it this next time or with these different types of tobaccos. But SKU Rat is a painful moment. I think of SKU Rat as like when we lose sizes or brands on the market because of our own decision to take them off. It's like a painful thing. So there's a number of SKUs that we've pulled off. It's a great deal a great amount of ones that we're either sunsetting for the moment. But all of the big brands are still intact.
Yes.
So the Sungrown on the Undercrown, I think the natural cigar to move into from there would be the Herrera Red, would be the Habano.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. Well, like you said, it's might be temporary. It might not be permanent. We might tweak it, play around with it, and you might see it later on. It's something exciting, I think. It's not totally depressing.
No, but I mean, there's people out there who really love the Sungrown brand, and the brand sells a lot, but where there's only so much materials right now for certain products. So sometimes where if something shares a wrapper and we have to make a hard decision, these are hard decisions to make. And we love all of our brands equally, like Rob said, they're like our little babies and
our kids.
And we care about it. So for retail and for people in the trade, what's beautiful about our team, our sales guys and gals in the world, they really are territory managers. They don't even sell that. It's not their biggest thing. It's about teaching people the brands and making sure the retailers have the right sets of our brand on the shelves and that it's merchandised right for their area. The different areas throughout the United States and even the world have different preferences of brands or sizes, etc. So they're going to work with the retailers to move them from the size that they might have loved of a cigar to another size. But there's a handful, I think 3 products that have actually been discontinued in terms of brands, right?
Just 2 brands are
Sungrown of Undercrown.
Yes.
La Vieja Habana.
Those are the only brands that will be no longer.
But recently we lost Natural.
That's true.
That's a big brand, a multi-million-dollar brand for us. It wasn't even about the money, it was about the materials and making room for other brands and growing products and stuff. So it's been a lot for us throughout the years.
Yeah, and we're going to release, we'll have a list that we're going to release on our website of like, hey, if you loved this, try this. And we're going to give you guys out there options. The great thing about our portfolio is there are so many different options. It's not like there's anything that we're getting rid of that there's not something at least similar. So if you loved something, we'll find something for you. So on that note, we're pouring one out for Undercrown Sungrown. Yeah. We're pouring one out for La Vieja. And I think that we should take that moment and take a pause and then get super amped up because let's give away a car. How about that? Those are the two.
Are we giving a car?
We're giving away a car. So I'm going to have our production throw up a graphic. And while they're doing that, I'm going to have all the boys in here bring up my raffle drums really quickly. So tonight we're giving away a grand prize Dodge Charger. So I'm bringing up my raffle wheels right now. And then our trade partner is going to get a big old trade credit. And we're going to send them some goodies for their store. So Pedro, why don't you come on over here? You did such a great job for the first one. We're gonna get ready. We're gonna pull a couple tickets, get everything out of the way. We're shuffling behind the scenes. There's a graphic up. They can't even see it.
But you know what? Before we pick out the winner, let's see some hearts.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see. I want to see a lot of hearts because we are putting a lot of heart from Drew Estate. So which prices do you want me to pull out?
All right, let's go with our trade partner. So this person is going to be getting a store credit.
This goes to one of our retailers?
This goes to one of our retailers. Shout out to everybody having a watch party tonight. We thank you so much.
How many watch parties you got?
I think there were over 100. I think there were 180 plus watch parties across the country. So we had 180 different stores tuning in. Thank you guys so much.
180?
180, more than 180, because I know because I printed this damn thing out. So, so this is going to be Casa de Monte Cristo, Whippany, New Jersey. Shout out Jersey.
Dirty
nice.
Dirty Jersey.
Everybody, I need you, if you're in the chat right now, to put out some good energy. You know, the hurricane party is coming to an end. We made it. Now, we want to give away a car to somebody, and I don't think that we're going to pull out any random person. We're going to pull out whoever wants it the most. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. So they got to manifest it in the chat right now. They got to let us know. And let's get this going. Come on. Let's get some energy. We're juiced. We are enthusiastic. We are overjoyed.
Dig in there, Pedro.
Start with the state. Start with the state.
We didn't list the state.
It doesn't say
here we go. Who's ready to win? I want to see some hearts.
We want to see some hearts.
We want to see some hearts. Because the one that is coming up is this guy right here.
Edward Levine. Ed Levine. Congratulations, Ed Levine.
Where's this guy at?
I just wrote down their emails because last time we put their states and then I'm like, oh, what is that good? Does that do me?
Don't you love when somebody wins lotto and they tell you it was from West Islip, Long Island, and you know which... You got to know more about the motherfucker who wins.
Yeah, we had multiple. So I have his email address. So for all of our prize winners, we'll also be contacting the 25 winners of the Blackened pewter ashtrays. But as far as the show, gentlemen, that's it. That's all we got. We have had a terrific night. You know, we braved the storm. We're really excited. We're all jumping on a plane tomorrow to Kentucky to hand out some Blackened cigars. I'm excited for people to, we've heard some feedback, but I'm excited for people to see the real thing in action.
Absolutely.
Pedro, I'm going to give you a shot. What's your last word to all
well,
the
last
people watching?
word, I just want to say thank you so very much for believing on Drew Estate. Thank you so very much for keeping Drew Estate cigars in your rotation. And we hope that you keep smoking more Drew Estate because this is what we do.
I like that. Willy, if you could finish your piece with some sort of like a radio over, I
don't have any voiceovers, man.
Willy, final words for the folks.
Excited for the Barn Smoker. Can't wait to see you guys out there. And as always, it's always a fun night. And till next time, and see you at the Barn Smoker.
Boom. JD, what do we got for the people?
Now we'll see you at Kentucky. It was a great night. Big shout out to James Hetfield from Metallica and the Metallica team, as well as Rob, Dietrich. Big shout out to Juan, Hoya de Nicaragua. Hey, big cheers to Hoya for all your accolades and for the new stick. I loved listening to Pedro and Juan when they were talking back and forth about the significance of the name and how powerful it was. So it was a real show stealer for me, and I think it's going to be a great product. So that's it. Peace out.
Yeah, one final thank you out of Drew Estate to everybody that tuned in, and thank you to everybody in this room that helped put this together. I'm not going to name you by names because I don't have to, but that's it for us. We'll see you guys at Barn Smoker. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. That's it. Peace out.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
D for life.
D for life. We're over. It's done.